Good morning, followers of the Ghana National Fire Service page. This is Ebiogun Alex Kignati coming to you live from Accra, Newtown, where our teams from national headquarters at the Olympic have successfully, contained the fire that would have really engulfed the whole compound house here at Accra, Newtown. So far, unfortunately, some of the rooms have been damaged as a result of the fire. As can be seen, the firefighting efforts have helped in salvaging the situation. So it's a whole compound house. It's a whole compound house that could have been engulfed by the fire, but right now.
Yes, sir. That's good, sir.
So right now, the fire has been put under control, and the fire has been put under control. Cooling is still underway, as can be seen, as efforts are being made to make sure that the fire does not reignite, that the fire is totally extinguished to prevent any further damage. So the very dexterous officers working too hard to make sure that we don't record any further damage. It's a compound house. I'm here to determine the number of houses within the compound house, but it could have caused a lot of severe damage, or it could have spread to the whole compound house, but it's been contained to some of the rooms within the compound house. So as you can see, cooling efforts underway to make sure that there is no reignition of the fire. Kudos to officers from Ability, our national headquarters, who are all working hard to make sure that the situation. So the fire could have spread, as can be seen. It's a whole compound, and but for the intervention of our officers, we would have recorded mass. Let's look at some of the salvage. So all these portions of the house have been salvaged. The fire could have easily spread, looking at how close it is and the fact that it's a compound house. The fire could have easily spread to all these other places, but our officers have done well to make sure that it's contained and prevented, a mass destruction. So firefighting efforts are still underway. Firefighting efforts are still underway as our officers are doing a yeoman's job to prevent any further casualties. You can see how involved our officers are in, just to make sure that the fire is totally extinguished. So far, we've not received any news of any casualty yet. We've not received any news of any casualty yet. So this is just one of the about 3 other Chima Hall self-contained that have been affected by the fire. So assessments being made by the officers to make sure. So it looks like this room was partially damaged, but efforts that we are. This is just next to the room that the officer is fighting the fire. So the roof caved in, but I would say it's just some water bends that's here. A lot of the items here have been salvaged, and so efforts are being made so that the fire does not even get spread to this particular room. So this is how the situation looks like in one of the rooms. So kudos to officers who are doing very well to make sure that the fire does not spread. So the damage has been, obviously when there's fire, there will be a certain level of damage. But our officers, assessments being done by officers to try and see how best to make sure that there's no irrigation. Mind you, this is very close to this particular story building, so the fire could have easily spread to this building, thereby starting a very major, major disaster on our hands. But the situation has been contained. The situation has been contained. So we are still here, and until the fire is totally out, we are not going anywhere. But as it stands now, the fire is under control. This has been Edio Wun Alex Kenati with the Public Relations Department headquarters coming to life from Accra, Newtown.